What's going on, guys? Look at this run. Nobody can complain with this. I think we did a damn good job this whole way up. Now we sit back and we enjoy, right? We enjoy the ride. So, I mean, you know, the scariest part of this whole journey here, in my opinion, was this rising channel here. Because I was like, man, not only that, but was also the 615 level. Because, you know, the only downside to it, I guess, is that in the past here, we ran up and we tried to hold this level. But now that I have this rising channel in here, we can actually see what happened, right? We touched this rising channel resistance. We broke down. We broke this rising channel resistance. We tried to catch support on it. We broke down. We hit the bottom of it. And now, where are we here? We are back to this rising channel, breaking this rising channel, which we've done before, right? We were just lower at the time. And now the moment of truth of it all, if we even have to do that, right? Because we're breaking out right now. We're getting above a lot of resistance because let's throw it on the daily here so I don't have to zoom too far here. This is that resistance right here that we broke here. And when we broke it, we ran. All right, so that resistance box that I have here was insane bull run territory here. And when we broke it, we managed to run all the way up here to 4K. Now, of course, I don't think we can run right to 4K without any type of corrections here. And the scary part of it all is, you know, how far can we run? Where are we going to get a rejection? And are we going to be able to back test this 822 level at some point? 822 to 830, right? Or to 828 to 819. Somewhere between there. I have my box at 828. I was posting a lot in my trading view about if we broke this level here, that was a bullish break of a bull flag, of a potential bull flag. And if we look at the 4 hour here, we can see this is the flagpole and this is the breakout. So before we get into any of the correction portion, what's the measured move of this bull flag here? And how high could we potentially go here? Well, let's check it out. So the measured move of this bull flag here is $1,024. So, of course, we still need to find some support on top of this old resistance, which is 863, roughly where we are right now. We've wicked as high as 878. But we got that breakout that I was talking about, and that's the measured move. So we really need to find support here at 863, whether we consolidate here, flag out for a little while to reset this RSI. You can see at the top here, this trend line is a trend line that we like to touch and have a pretty mean correction from. We've been hanging out up here, pretty much touching it, coming down, touching it. And, you know, of course, we can stay up in this nice strength here, but you know, if we break it, we could back test it, consolidate. But I mean, I would expect some type of correction back to this, potentially back to this line or as low as here at some point. Doesn't have to be now, but just something to keep in mind. And if we did come back test and we do decide to continuously get rejected here, we could come back to this 828 level. So, you know, we could flag out again or consolidate in between these lines. But, you know, the hardest thing is trying to hold this 817 level. I'm not saying we're going to have a correction right now. I'm just saying at some point, you know, we have bearish divergence on the 1 hour as of right now, right? Because this is the price action here, way up here. This is the price action here. It's opposite. So that's bearish divergence. But, of course, we're getting this hourly close above here right now. So, we're going to have to see how that plays out. Do we have volume, declining volume right now? So we're not really looking like it's a confirmed breakout just yet. We need some volume to prove this is legit. On the 45-minute, we're getting a little spinning top candle here. So that could result in potentially, I'm not saying complete downside here, but if we look right here, this looks like it made like a little bit bull flag right here. And this resistance was the 860. This is just on the 45-minute. We're in bullish territory. We keep breaking out of every single thing that we do, whether it's a bearish or bullish pattern. So right now, getting this little spinning top, we could come back down and back test this 857. And maybe we could just flag in between here. That would be great. If we decided to fall back in here, that lower support there is right around 833 with potentially a wick to this 828 at some point. It doesn't have to, but that would be perfectly fine. And I would love to see it make more W's like this. That's all we've been doing is www.bullish.com, right? Pretty much. So, that's potentially something we could do here. Make another W. So we'll have to see how this plays out. But needless to say, as of right now, whether we get this small correction down to, any of these three levels, it doesn't matter. Overall right here, to me, we're heading up to this $1,000 level. And how we get there is fine. I don't care if we come back down, like I said, consolidate some more. But, I'm just extremely bullish. I don't really see the only warning sign that I see right now, of course, for any type of correction, that's why we're discussing this, is just like the little bit of bearish divergence that I'm seeing, hidden bearish divergence on the 1 hour and the 4 hour here. And just the fact that we're getting close to this trend line here, and we get rejected most of the time when we breach it or come right above. So we could come up a little higher maybe, or get a correction pretty soon here, trend back down, make another W here. So we'll have to watch and see. We're getting potentially a break, though, right here, which is the bullish sign. Just that volume needs to come in here a little bit. If this was, one other thing we could look at it as, just to be... not just one-sided, right? Because we don't want to only be bullish, 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 because things don't go straight up. If we were to look at this as a potential rising wedge that broke to the upside, that could fall back in to be a fake out, and if we potentially came down here and we failed to hold this 830, the drop could bring us back down to this 775. I don't know if I see that happening, but I just want to keep that in mind. But that is also, right now, to me, this is getting a bullish break of this rising wedge, and we've been breaking out of a lot of potentially bearish patterns. I'm gearing more towards this is going up. And if worse comes to worse, we could back test, or we could play around between this 858 and this 863 if we don't, in fact, confirm this as support. If we do, then we could just trend somewhere in between this 880 and 863, which to me is a little more likely, with a potential wick to this 853 or something, right? It's too hard to say. I'm kind of like making up scenarios right now because just because of the hidden bearish divergence, but this thing can just continue up here as well. So let's see if we can find some other hidden bearish divergence that we had. I don't really see any right now. That was like a little head and shoulders potentially, and even that little correction of that head and shoulders, right? It literally didn't bring us very far. It brought us from this 718 to that 654. So like a $60 move. So I think we should back test this potentially worst case scenario 853, back test this before heading back up. That would be a great correction in my opinion if we can't hold this level. Back test and run, or back test, double bottom and run. It's very possible something like that happens if we don't just completely moon here a little higher, then flag out for a little while, and then go. So, I don't know. I'm just watching all things going on here. But, you know, overall, look at this thing. Look at this thing. Let's look at the chart that doesn't have shit all over it. Beautiful. This is where I entered, right here. And I exited. Where did I exit? At 6:30, I think I exited. I exited a little soon, right? I think I exited like at 6. Yeah, I exited on this move. And then I was super fearful, right? Because I was like, oh my God, I screwed up. I exited right around here. We had this correction. I was going to, and then I bought back. Oh, was that where I bought in? No, I bought in right here because I was going to buy in and I'm like, I can't. And then it just continued running. And I was like, wow, what did I do? But I knew this was some strong resistance. And it looked like it was creating, there it is, hidden bearish divergence right here. See this? And see this? Lower on the right, higher on the left. Higher on the right, lower on the left. And then we had a mean dump. And I knew that it was a potential that 597 was going to hold. It never really held in the past, but I felt like it was bullish enough to get it. So I threw my big buy orders down here at 597, and your boy got it. We got in. And ever since then, that was all it took. And I've been in again since then. And I'm not selling this time. I'm not sure when I am, right? I'm going to sell at some point. I just don't know when yet. But we did just get this breakout. And looking at this chart here that we have laid out, on the clean chart, this was how I was looking at it. And this was my target. And we hit my target. So because of that, right, now we have bearish divergence. Could we come back test, and run? That's a very big possibility. And it could scare some people out and chop here and think they're making a bear flag again. Or yeah, bear flag. And then do what we always do. Dump, make a rising channel, and break out and create a W. That's a very good possibility there. We've talked about that many times on this channel. And this is something exactly we did right here. See this? Run, drop, bear flag, W, run. So just want to keep that in mind there. But either way, we've been killing this thing, so we'll just keep doing that. We'll just keep on letting our money grow. Peace.